So you see, I turned on the news today and there was an excellent piece on how Morbid Machinist Partyfinder Blockage has become a massive problem in North America. And as a Canadian, that does include me too. Yeah guys, the internet service here, my igloo is awesome, and I got my game time card from the snowdogs. You know, you just need to order it a few weeks in advance for our delivery service. Some parts of the igloo are yellow though now. Ugh. But we need to take a second here. We need to really take a second here, and I need to commend this Partyfinder listing though, because they actually left Archer, and Archer is preferable to a Machinist in patch 6.2. But time to be serious. Let's talk very directly about the meta in the most super direct way that one possibly can. I've made a ton of Machinist videos in the range, DPS, tax, yada yada. No more, I promise. I have already been served the document saying that if I do another video on those subjects, I will be guillotined by Eddie Hall and then sat on by the mountain. You know, from Game of Thrones. I guess there's worse ways to go, like being dabbed on by a main character in the franchise using the Machinist's arm. Now that is an insult this patch. See, I'd say that's enough jokes, but that was unfortunately me keeping it real. But today I've come to state boldly what is the end result of the meta. How likely are you to be impacted by the meta, and how much? As they say, the ends justify the means, even if your job is well below the mean. That's a stats joke. And so the meanie pants of the world don't like Machinist, and so, like your Aunt Florence with her embroidered couch and doilies littered across the room, it's time to address the elephant in the room. So first off, numbers, bars, and charts. This savage tier, more than any other, there is a clear difference between the haves and the have-nots. You know, they usually say life imitates art, but kind of the other way around this time. That was a good one. But does this impact you at all? Likely answer for most of my viewers is, frankly, yeah, it does. If you're on this channel, more than likely. If you engage in extreme farming at any level, which we finally do have an extreme trial worth the title of extreme, then this does absolutely impact you. If you're doing Savage and Partyfinder, and if you do, you already know it does, well, it impacts you. Spoiler alert there. And if you are ringing up friends on Discord saying, "Hey Dan, I just saw your Discord status is online. Are you raiding in Final Fantasy?" And then you see their status just flash instantly to offline as they quickly shut off all of their party finders in game faster than when your parents enter your room and you scramble to hide all of that anime girl stuff. You know, the stuff that's injected into my Twitter feed constantly. Yeah, faster than you hide that. But if that scenario seems too familiar to you, or you have lived that situation, don't trust Dan. He's not actually offline. That no good Dan. And, well, chances are you're probably playing Machinist and Dan just doesn't want you in his PF. Oh, that got some action in the Discord. So it's time for the real goods of this video. If you want to farm the extreme trials and you want to see a lot of enrages, just a ton of enrages, enrage is your favorite part of this game, and yeah, you somehow can totally see enrages in literally all of these fights, then be an idiot like me, myself and I, and enjoy playing a healer, especially the Astrologian. Few things feel better than being forced to hardcast revive on people as they die over and over again, and better yet if they clip you with the mechanics, and as they get up you throw your cards on the tank because they are the only one left without weakness. I absolutely love playing Astra and PF, guys. And while I'm hearing a lot of laughing, I can also hear some booing on the Discord as I do this recording. What? You wanted a Machinist joke? The Astro joke's not enough? Fine. You'll have one. The joke is that the Extreme Trial Farm group had the Machinist slot locked off. You know, just like that group that preferred an Archer. I couldn't join on the Machinist, so I had to go with Astro. Sorry, guys. Oh yeah, now they're going. Now they're absolutely going. And while that may seem tongue-in-cheek, like a joke in delivery, unfortunately, that is reality. Playing lower DPS jobs begets lower clear rates. Because what you're going into PF, and you're expecting competency? Damn. That's like going into Tinder and finding a good date. Someone actually worth taking home to mom and pa, rather than the, "Oh, you're never meeting my mom." Plenty of fish, more like plenty of crap. I've met my ex on plenty of crap, and yeah, that sure was a winner. What about dungeons, though? Let's be fair, not everyone wants to participate in extremes and savage raiding. I get it. I can't blame you with a lot of the bullshit that I deal with on a daily basis. But okay, guys, I get it. We just took the bar and we lowered it like a lot. Like a lot. But somebody has to think of the sprouts and the people who literally can't bench more than just a 40-pound bar here. And the dungeon meta does matter for experts because you just want to get in and get out as fast as you can, because one more seconds of mobs hitting you with those soggy foam noodles will remind you of that time that your past went weird and soggy. And I just did that with craft dinner the other day, and yeah, soggy craft dinner, that was gross. You definitely don't want to let that cook too long. I think someone said that the best type of pasta is el dentist pasta. So you definitely want to go with the el dentist pasta rather than whatever I did the other day, because that was absolutely horrible. And trust me, no one wants a dungeon run that was like that craft dinner. Not one. You can put as much ketchup on that dungeon run as you want. That is still going to just be absolutely horrible. But here I am talking about the dungeon meta, and we all know that that's actually funny, because every time I queue as a DPS into dungeons, I end up getting a white mage that thinks that free gear is the best mechanic since they got their oil change in 2010. Or the single pull tank that is facilitating this Cure 1 spam free cure nonsense. Yeah, I don't think you're innocent either. These tanks aren't innocent. They're facilitating this. This isn't right. But hey, I saw them use a cooldown 5 minutes ago. I think they used it at the start of the dungeon before they even hit the first pack. Oh shit, that was tank stance. Okay, fair enough. And now it's about that time that I want to sum it up and get into the period. So let's sum it up. Outside of wanting to consistently have some control of overcoming enraged DPS checks, probably any control, don't play Astra in my instance, clearing dungeons with any amount of speed, and getting into groups, no. The meta doesn't actually matter, and you should actually play what you want and absolutely not care. In literally any other scenario, literally cannot matter. There is no way that anyone has any justification whatsoever to worry about the meta in that instance, because everything will be performing fine. But in those situations, unfortunately, that is a problem. You are seeing party finders, unfortunately, they'd prefer an archer in patch 6.2 rather for you. I don't know how many actions an archer even has these days, but party finder makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Well, let's be really factually here. Factual here. With the amount of gear that we are having this week, there is no excuse that machinists cannot clear all forms of content. Summoner too. Red mage too. I know that red mages and summoners are concerned too. Because, to be frank, we quite literally outgear the content. We are, 4 weeks into it now, just about at 5 weeks of gear at this point. Your job choice at this point should matter absolutely not, unless your entire group has had not a single tombstone item bot, has had absolutely no raid drops. They're probably playing a healer like me. We funnel our raid drops to the DPS, which makes sense because you want to beat those in raid checks, but that sure as hell is not going to stop your PF groups from seeing Enrage more than you see Catgirls and Limsa, all of course played by men.